Welcome to National Education Policy 2020 highlights. Let us look into the history of Indian education policies. In the year 1835, Lord Macaulay introduced education policy in India with an intention to produce a class of persons, Indians in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect, who could in their turn develop the tools to transmit Western learning in the vernacular languages of India. He wanted to produce clerks to work in British offices. He wanted to produce slaves work under British Empire, so that he introduced this education policy in India. Further, he says, by introducing this policy, in future, the Indians think whatever the foreign is superior than their own. That is what we want, a true dominating nation. Exactly what happened, the same thing happened even today. Even after getting independence, the ideology, the mentality, the attitude is not changed in some persons. Today also, we see some persons, they are passionate about foreign things. They glorify foreign rather than their own Indian nation. So this is the attitude of a slave. The boss is superior than this person. This attitude makes a slave. Bhanisa Bhavajalam. So still this mentality, attitude continues in some section of people. So that was the intention of Macaulay, who introduced the education policy in 1835 in India. So after independence, in 48-49, 1948-49, University Education Commission. In 1952-53, Secondary Education Commission. In 1964-66, Education Commission under Dr. D.S. Kothari, which is very important education policy, implemented 3-language formula. In 1968, National Policy on Education. And 1976, 42nd Constitutional Amendment, by which education is placed in concurrent list. In 1986, National Policy on Education, very important education policy. And after that, there was no further education policies in India. In 92, there was a small modification to this 86 policy. So after that, there was no education policies in India. Almost 34 years happened. The world has changed very much. The technology, information technology, used in almost all fields. So accordingly, we have to change our education policies. So education is very important, vital. Education plays very vital role in the development of any country or any society. So education has to be changed. It is the need of the hour. In ancient days, the world was ruled by muscle power. After that, the world was ruled by money power, just like the East India Company came to India and conquered and ruled almost centuries together. So after that, after the Industrial Revolution, the present day world is ruled by information and technology. No doubt, we need to update ourselves to sustain in the world, to lead ourselves in the world, to develop our country. We need to update in the information and technology. So in education also, we need to adopt suitable changes. So after 34 years, India has come forward to transform the entire education system according to the needs of our nation, to making better use of our resources. So this policy has been prepared. The NEP was formulated after unprecedented consultation involving over 2 lakh suggestions from 2.5 lakhs Gram Panchayat, 6,600 blocks, 6,000 ULBs, 676 districts. So 2 lakh suggestions taken by this NEP. The Ministry of Human Resource Department initiated participatory consultation process from January 2015. In May 2016, Committee for Evaluation of the New Education Policy under the chairmanship of late TSR Subramanian, former Cabinet Secretary, submitted its report. Based on this, the ministry prepared some inputs for the draft National Education Policy 2016. In June 2017, a committee for the draft National Education Policy was constituted under the chairmanship of eminent scientist Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, which submitted the draft National Education Policy in 2019 to HRD Minister on May 31st, 2019. The draft National Education Policy 2019 was uploaded on MHRD's website and MyGov Innovate portal, eliciting views, suggestions, comments of stakeholders, including public. So a lot of work efforts have been put to bringing this national education policy. without any defects. So major and important highlights of National Education Policy 2020 in India. In 2020, the Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, making way for large-scale transformational reforms in both school and higher education sector. This is the first education policy of the 21st century and replaces the 34-year-old National Policy on Education, 1986 National Education Policy. So after 34 long years, India is going to change its education policy, which is very much required to meet the present day challenges. So this education policy is to make use of Indian resources, to meet Indian requirements. So this policy is prepared to meet present day challenges. This policy is to empower our Indian youth by giving quality education. This policy is to bring the past glory to the Indian nation, Indian culture, Indian value system. This policy is to make India self-reliant, self-sufficient. This policy to make India a superpower, a world leader. So this policy is to give that education by which character is formed, strength of the mind is increased, intellect is expanded, and one can stand on one's own feet. This policy is to give man-making, nation-building education. Let us look at some main important silent features, highlights of this new education policy 2020. To universalization of education from preschool to secondary level with 100% gross enrollment ratio in school education by 2030. This policy is universalizing the preschool to secondary level education. This is very important aspect of this policy. So previously, this preschool was neglected. 3 to 6 age group children was not included in previous education policy. Only those children who have completed 5 years, they are eligible to enter into the school at first standard, in first class. But now, according to the changes in the society, in the world, so after 3 years, the children need to be joined in the schools. So this policy is including the preschool, that is the age group of 3 years. So that is the major step, and it is aimed at 100% enrollment ratio of the school going children, that is 3 to 18 years age group. to bring 2 crore out of school children back into the mainstream. That is the aim of this national education policy. And another important change, transformation in this policy is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 school curriculum with 12 years of schooling and 3 years of Anganwadi preschooling. The total 15 years of school education is included in this new education policy. As I said just now, this 3 years of Anganwadi preschooling, nursery, LKG, UKG, which is very crucial stage in a person's life. This has been included. This age has been recognized by this new education policy, and 3 to 6 years age group children are going to be taken care of this education policy, which is very, very, very important. The pre-primary, Anganwadi preschooling, preparatory. The another important point, it is going to emphasize on foundational literacy and numeracy. No rigid separation between academic streams, extracurricular, vocational streams in schools, and vocational education to start from 6th class onwards. Very important steps taken by this new education policy. So previously a regular and extracurricular, there was a difference. Now it is not going to be there. All extracurricular activities will be included, will be given equal status. Games, sports, literary, cultural, fine arts, all these things to be included. And very important, vocational education has to be included from 6th standard itself. So this is the very, very, very important step taken by the national education policy. So after all, what is education? Education is a process of bringing out the hidden knowledge. The education has to bring out the all-round development of the student. The education has to develop the complete personality of the student, which includes physical, mental, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. The education includes 5 domains. Panchakosha Vikasa. Then only it will become a complete education. But unfortunately, present education system concentrates only on cognitive domain, only on mental aspects. The entire education system is running after getting marks and ranks, neglecting the other 4 important domains. There is no physical development, there is no intellectual sharpness, there is no emotional balancing, there is no spiritual education. Almost these 4 domains have been neglected so far. One should be physically fit, mentally alert, intellectually sharp, emotionally well balanced, spiritually elevated. Then only we call it a complete personality. The education institution has to provide an atmosphere to develop all these 5 domains. So all these other 4 domains have been neglected. Now this education policy has recognized the importance of all the domains. So this will definitely help in shaping a complete personality of students. The physical, games, sports have been given equal importance, and for there is a scope of intellectual development, and very importantly, scope for emotional balancing. So due to lack of emotional balancing control, even after completing education, PG, PhD, and getting job, but people are not able to live happily. People are committing suicides, students, and almost in all fields committing suicides. They don't know how to handle the emotions because there is a lack in the present education system to control the emotions. To control emotions, the fine arts, if we engage the students in fine arts, dance, music, literary activities, the emotional balance will be there in students. By engaging students in games and sports, they will become physically strong, a sound mind in a sound body. So these things will be taken care in this new education policy. Not only that, the vocational education has been given very important from the school 6th standard. Students will be engaged in different vocational activities. They learn so many things. So after completing the education, they need not search for jobs. They can set their own business and they can stand upon their own feet. The skill development, vocational development has been given very important role in this new education policy. And this policy to adopt teaching up to at least 5th grade to be in mother tongue, that is in regional language. Almost all are gems, very, very, very important concepts have been incorporated in this new education policy. In present world, almost all developed countries, their education is in the mother tongue, their regional language, instead of English. Almost all educational psychologists suggest the education, the primary school education should be in mother tongue. Then only the student will grasp the concepts. So this education policy is rightly incorporated, rightly bringing this change, very important, vital change. Up to 5th, the teaching must be in mother tongue and preferably in school education also. So in a higher education, there can be in different language. But up to 5th, the education should be in mother tongue in regional language. This is the major step taken by this policy. Assessment reforms with 360-degree holistic progress card. So assessment of the student is going to be changed, in this policy. By heart system will not be there. So student assessment will be holistic. All round assessment will be there. So in almost every student there will be some skills. Some students may be in with the scientific temper. Some students may be interested in games and sports. Some may be in arts, fine arts. Some may be in oratory, organizing skills. So according to their skills, we need to encourage them. So the assessment will be according to 360-degree holistic progress card, which is very important step. Tracking student progress for achieving learning outcomes. So education has to bring all-round development of the student, physical, mental, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. This education policy is aimed at the all-round development of the students. The another important point, the gross enrollment ratio in higher education to be raised to 50% by 2035. That is, present there is a big gap, big dropout in higher education. From school to higher, there is a gap. Dropouts are there. So this policy aims 50%, raise the 50% enrollment by 2035 year. And 3.5 crore seats to be added in higher education. Very good step taken by this policy. To implement the flexibility of subjects in higher education curriculum. This is also very important step taken by this policy. Flexibility of subjects will be there in higher education. If a student of history can study chemistry, a student of civics can opt for physics, civics with physics, history with chemistry, mathematics with music. Like students will be given freedom. There is flexibility for choosing their choice of subjects. Very, very important change in this education policy. To enable multiple entry and multiple exit to be allowed with appropriate certification. This is also very important step taken by this education policy. Due to some personal reasons, if anybody discontinues his studies, so in present system, he has to lose. But this in new education policy, no need to worry. Even after completing first year of graduation, and if he want to discontinue, he can join after 1 or 2 years. So that facility will be there in this education policy. Multiple entry and multiple exit. This will be allowed with appropriate certification. If anybody wants to stop his education after completing first year of graduation, he will be given a certificate. Or second year of graduation, he will be given a certificate. Like that, there is a flexibility in this education policy. An academic bank of credits to be established to facilitate the transfer of credits. A very important point. Just like a bank account, every student will have a credit bank account. Academic bank of credits to be established for each and every student throughout his career. This will continue till the end of his studies. So it is also very important. And another, to establish national research foundation to foster a strong research culture. So far we are lacking behind when compared with Western. Research, there is no scope for research till now. So in this policy, the importance of research for young scientists. So they are going to establish a research foundation. So this will encourage young scientists to come innovative ideas. Research scope will be more in future. So light but tight regulation of higher education. Single regulator with 4 separate verticals for different functions. So almost education is going to be under a single umbrella. This is also very important aspect in this new education policy. Affiliation system to be phased out in 15 years with graded autonomy to colleges. This is also strengthen the education systems to maintain quality education. So in future there will not be any affiliation from any university. Only autonomous colleges, universities will be there. They have to maintain the quality of education to survive. Otherwise, they cannot survive. So this will improve quality and education, quality of education. And national education policy advocates increased use of technology with equity. National Educational Technology Forum to be created. So this policy emphasizes the use of technology, and for that a forum to be created. National Education Policy emphasizes setting up of Gender Inclusion Fund. So it is also very important step taken by committee. And establishing special education zones for disadvantaged regions and groups. So remote villages, remote areas, so will be taken care of establishing these special education zones to bring development in their zones. To promote multilingualism in both schools and higher education. This is also very useful, very essential step taken by this NEP. So in villages, in remote regions, there is a scope for pursue their education in their local language. National Institute for Persian and Prakrit, Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation to be set up. So now there is a scope of pursuing the higher education in local languages also, including the technical subjects. All subjects and will be available in all Indian local languages. Students can pursue their degree in their local language also. So these are some highlights in this new education policy, which is built on the foundational pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. This policy is aligned to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and aims to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society and global knowledge superpower by making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, suited to 21st century needs and aimed at bringing out the unique capabilities of each student. No doubt, this policy is going to bring is going to transform the entire education system. This policy definitely is to make India superpower, the world leader. Thank you. Thank you for watching.